Hello. Today I want to talk about childhood trauma. Childhood trauma isn't always what we think it is. It doesn't have to be something extreme like abuse or war. It can simply be daddy not showing up to your birthday party. That experience in and of itself can be very, very traumatic to a child. Because in that moment, the child feels abandoned, confused, anxious. Now, how that moment is handled shapes everything. Now, what happens when a child experiences a traumatic moment? Let's break it down. In every traumatic experience, three core things happen. First, the emotion gets repressed. Instead of allowing the child to feel through their confusion or their fear or their pain, the child is told to be grateful or to stop crying, or it is distracted. Let's blow the candles. So what happens in that moment? This emotion, instead of moving out of the body and be processed out of their system, it gets frozen in time, unprocessed. And we carry it with us into our adult life, an unprocessed emotion. Second thing that happens is that the child registers a false belief. Without helping the child making sense of what happens and process mentally through that traumatizing experience, the child makes it mean something which is a false belief, which is also frozen in time as a false belief. I'm not worthy of love, of attention. I'm not lovable. I don't matter. Love is not safe. Third thing, a certain need goes unmet. The child's need for love, attention, safety was not met. So this need gets frozen in the same ice cube. And we carry with us, along with the unprocessed emotion, the false belief, into our adult life. And when a need is not met, this creates pain. So this need is most likely repressed it gets pushed away into the subconscious, and we carry it with us, but on a subconscious level. And this is why most people are not even aware of what their core needs are, because it's too painful to ask for, because we never had those needs met. Now, how does this shape our lives? This ice cube that holds an unprocessed emotion, a false belief, and an unmet needs has a certain vibration, and it acts like a magnet. So what happens is that we start to attract into our lives people and experiences that hold that same frequency, that trigger those unprocessed emotions and those false beliefs and this unmet need, so we can process those emotions, so we can reprogram and change those beliefs, and we can consciously and proactively meet those needs. So for example, if the unmet need was connection, and if the frozen emotion was anxiety, and if the false belief is I'm not lovable, guess what life will mirror back to you? People that confirm that belief, experiences that will trigger the anxiety, and relationships that will make you feel disconnected. But this happens for very, very important reason: to process, to reprogram, and to proactively meet our needs, our subconscious hidden needs. Now, how do we heal? How do we melt that ice cube? Number one, feeling and processing emotions. Relive it in a safe and conscious way. Because if we don't travel back in our consciousness into that traumatizing experience, life will make sure that it will create the circumstances and attract the people that will make you relive and re-experience those traumatic emotions and feelings, because you hold them on a subconscious level in your psyche. And this is a point of attraction within your being. And when we can't feel an emotion, we either try to numb it or we try to distract ourselves from that painful emotion that needs our attention right now because it hasn't been processed. That child that is frozen in that ice cube needs to be seen and heard and felt and understood. And when we can't do that, we try to numb it or distract ourselves from it. And this can look like addiction or even spiritual practices like yoga. I'm not feeling well. Let me go have a yoga class or do a meditation. Let me get out with my friends. Distractions. Instead of being with the emotion, we distract ourselves from it, or we numb our emotions through addictions. Second thing we need to do is to reprogram the false subconscious belief. In a traumatizing moment, the child registers a false belief about themselves. I'm not lovable, I'm not capable, I'm not worthy of anyone's attention or love or time. And the list goes on. Third thing, we need to meet that need that was not met, which means we need to reconnect to that part of us, that traumatized part of us. And we need to figure out what was the unmet need. And we need to proactively meet that need. And in most cases, it means that we have to involve other people, especially when the trauma is disconnection. And the need is to establish connection. Because we are communal beings, we need each other. You know the saying, it takes a village to raise a child? We never grow out of that. It takes a village to meet our needs. Ultimately, to heal is to experience what we have lacked in our childhood. If we have lacked love in our childhood, then we need to experience love. If we have lacked safety, then we need to experience safety. If we have lacked a sense of belonging, then we have to experience a sense of belonging. If we have lacked abundance, then we have to experience abundance. This is the path of healing. It's not about blaming our past or blaming our parents or primary caregivers. It's about reclaiming those parts of us that have been frozen in time so we can live free as the whole, radiant being that we were born to be. Thank you.